Yo, what's happening?
What's going on? I'm not muted today, am
Nope, I
I?
think you're good to go. Good to go.
Okay. Good. Hey
Yeah,
man, that was a good idea to start at 4:15. Now you got me really looking at the market in the afternoon, man.
dude. There's good volume that comes in during that time period, so it's a
Oh
good
man,
time to trade. Well, at least lately, it's been a good time to trade. So I think we were missing out, and anybody that was watching was missing out on that time frame. So I'm glad we bumped it back a little bit, especially
yeah.
today, because
Yeah,
we
I
have.
definitely took a trade after 3. I actually I took a nice little short once we broke back under 58.59. Um so I took that nice little short and yeah, that was a pretty good one there. That was the last trade I took though. That was it. I was like, yeah, that's it. But yeah, it was sweet. I didn't even think we would get back down there. I didn't think we would get back down
We were
there.
getting a little extended there at the end, so that little bounce we
Yeah,
got, it's happening. Not shocking, but man, a lot of chop though early. Um, it took a while for the move to finally start. I mean, if you look here on our 120 minute, you can see this spinning top here that we had, and I mean, we just chopped back and forth over top of that level there for what 2.5, almost 3 hours. We kind of chopped around that. And then it finally broke. Then we came back down to our 59.24 area that we kept talking about all of last week. And once we plowed through there, man, it was bears were definitely back in control. You can see
yeah.
how we came up. Then we started testing it from below, couldn't get back above. That was a pretty
Nope.
clear signal that we were going to go to that next level down then at that point. So there's some good trades there. You had to be patient today.
Yes.
Definitely
I
didn't
think I,
want to.
I think I sent you a message like patience.
You did. Yep, you did for sure, and it was spot on. Like I said, we had a lot of early chop there, but we got through it, got a little bit of a move. I think we can clearly see now. I'll bring up the daily here, so we can clearly see we got this big consolidation area that we've been talking about since we started this thing. It is now starting to break down a little bit. So we've had our first break. We had a little attempted a push back above. Someone goes on NQ, but NQ same thing, pushing back above, and then we're splashing
Yep.
back below now at this point. So ES, same difference. This is that line there, just on the ES version of it. This is our this is our second time down through. So pretty good shot now. We get, I think, probably down to that 5,800 area. We'll see what happens then at that point. Where we go next? What are your thoughts, honey?
I thought that based off of the open and where we were, I thought we was gonna chop and then eventually start making our way back up. But clearly they couldn't hold and we broke down once again.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So
It was clear that move or Friday afternoon, that was a definite short squeeze. There was no new buyers there, and as you can see, because about the whole move got taken out now. So all that were shorts that were covering, popped it back up. We started hitting some key levels. More shorts got squeezed, and that's how you get those big 50-point moves in what was a matter of like 15, 20 minutes when we were talking last Friday that all happened. So that's definitely what occurred there at that point. We got a little bit more of a drift up then, and then down it went.
yeah, because one of my trades, and it made me. I said I gotta lower my size a little bit, because I got stopped out. It would have been it was a good trade. It was just I didn't put enough leg on it. I took I shorted at 965.50, 59.65.50, but once it broke and then came back on the retest, but it went all the way up to 5.976, and then it dropped, and then and from there
Yep.
it literally just dropped. But yeah, I got caught in that, and so I'm like, oh man. So I readjusted and I waited, and I got short again, and it was a winner.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I got stopped out twice today too. I mean, I tried to go short, got stopped there, and then I tried to go long on the rebreak. I was like, all right, well, we put in this little hammer candle here at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna, Friday's action was we were moving back up. So my train of thought was, all right, well, here we go. We're gonna march back up the levels a little bit. But that was not meant to be. So I eventually got stopped on that one as well. Then I hit a nice big winner that made it all up, thankfully.
Right. Actually, I had 2 nice winners, actually. So that one short out was like whatever. Because, like you said, I mean, I took like 20 points the first one, and then I think, the second one was like 18. So, yeah, that was sweet.
Well, let's have a look at CO. I know we're under the gun a little bit on time today, so we'll try to be quicker. On the CL side, I mean, we had a nice big move. We were trying to kind of recover a little bit. You can see we almost like one tick the high from Thursday, and then it just started to flush again. Took out this bottom. Now we're working into the bottom part of this big range that we keep talking about. We're working down into that bottom section of it. So we'll probably start testing these little lows here. See if we can catch some bids there. Maybe start to pile it back up. I mean, we'll see. I don't think we'll have a huge washout in oil. But you never know. Anything could happen, We could probably drift down to this 61 area, maybe go a little below, and then start drifting back up. We'll see how it happens. Key levels that we're looking at for oil would be, where's that going? I don't want it. There we go. We had our big wash. I didn't catch this at all. I mean, that went so fast. I don't know if you were watching oil. It was like in a minute, it was like a 2-minute time frame. It went through there. I mean, it was super, super fast. Look at that.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's a 2-minute chart here, and it just flushed through there. So I didn't catch that at all.
I didn't catch it either. I tried twice, like during the flush, and tried, so you're like, I'm looking forward to pull back just a little bit, but it just flushed. So
yeah, it was too far for me. By the time I noticed it, it was already gone. So I was like, well, that one's done. And then we got down to this next level here, and I mean, I wasn't really comfortable with it at the time. It was like 12 o'clock. I don't really like playing breakouts, around noon. So I kind of stayed off it there. Now we're putting in a little, looks like a bear flagish type pattern here at the bottom that we got going on. So probably keeping a good eye on this level here, which would be at 68.44. So if we start to creep back above that, maybe we're going to drift back up then and retest this 69.14 from the bottom. Probably something I'll be looking at tonight. We got a little tweezers bottom there if you look really closely. They're a double bottom. So that would probably be our bear area of interest. So 67.89. We flushed down below that. That is also on our trend line here that we had from a while back. Let's zoom that out a little bit so folks can see exactly where that trend line came and how we put it in. So this is from that old trend. So we had broke higher on it. We're still trying to sort of hold that. It's pretty much dead, to be honest with you. I don't think that really matters as much now at this point. Gone above and below it. But to the bear side, if we get below that 67.89, we'll probably get a wee little bounce here at 67.72, with that being an old 4-hour low. And then we'll probably drift into that 67 area would be the next area of interest for me to the downside. Did you have any additional levels at all on oil that you were?
No, same thing. My next level below is 67.72. If we push below that, man, 6,700, we should be coming to see you, buddy. That's
what I'm thinking. 67 looks like our next logical area that we'll probably try to test then at that point. Then we're getting into those. We're starting to hit these little lows. This is on the daily chart. So we're looking, there's a bunch down here around the 66.50 area. So I bet you there's going to be a ton of support there when we get down there. So it's not going to be clean if it does go through, unless there's some kind of crazy news or something like that that really gives it some fuel. to push through there. But just on an average, normal pace of the market, we'll probably get a little bit of a bounce there.
Yeah, perfect sentiment would be for us to push up to 68.82 and hold in that area, and then start to flush back down. That would be the perfect scenario for me. I hope that's what happens overnight, because I'm not going to be watching. So in the morning when I come in, it's trying to flush down and test that 67 area. 67, 77.
Yep, I agree. Like something nice, go up here, retest up in 69 area, 68.80, and then we drift back below this 68.44. That's a decent trade then at that point, and then you can ride it all the way down. That's probably going to be a few hour one at least. If you get into something like that, just looking how the shape is right now. Let's have a look at the gold. So we're getting a little bit of a recovery here. We flushed that key area that we had, closed below it. Now we're closing back into the consolidation area once again. So we have a potential for a fake breakdown here, which can be pretty bullish, especially in this large uptrend that we're in on the gold. Let's look a little bit closer.
Yeah, I missed a nice long on gold as well too. It kind of left me behind.
That one I did get in on that one, so that was
okay.
Decent earlier for me. Yep, I did.
Yeah, that one kind of left me behind.
I hit that and the retest. So this is the overnight high here. So we broke above it. I hit it coming up into this level, got out, and then when we came back down and retested, and I saw buyers starting to come in. I actually bought again on it. So I hit 2 longs here. Actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Take that.
Yeah, I missed that one.
So for tomorrow, let's probably be looking at this level here.
And then we done broke back over 2,900. So I'm hoping that holds.
Yeah. And I think tonight, look, if you look how this structure is, we got this big hanging man type candle right here. So this would be our re-entry to that consolidation area. So, it wouldn't be shocking overnight if we kind of drift down below, start chopping around this area. 2,900, like you said, the whole number is going to get, probably get some play both ways. So, got to be prepared for that. Next level up for me, I have just marked, I don't love it looking at it right now. Let's see what it is on the third. Yeah, I do like it. All right, so we'll keep this 29.10. You could argue to go down to 29.08. There's the 2-hour stuff is more around that area, but we have this little peak right here at 29.10. So for me, I'm going to wait until it gets above that to get bullish. It is rising right now as we talk. As far as the bear side, I want to see this little low get taken out. If we see that happen, I'm starting to get bearish at that point. So at 28.87, that means we lost to 2,900. We lost the final move of the day, basically, that we've all had. So definitely below there is an area of interest. And then this was our overnight low here. So let's go ahead and mark her up. So 28.68, 28 would probably be our next little area that we might drift down into. Could get a little bit of support here on the 28.78. I'm not going to mark it for myself, but if you're looking at micro levels, that is something that you can maybe play, or at least for a target if you take this short. That'll probably be a decent spot to at least lighten your load a little bit. Scale out some there and see if we can get the rest of the drift. Just because that's the old breakout area. If you look here, we've got this 28.78. We broke above it, tested back below here with this hanging man, and then we took off after that. So, they're probably going to want to look at this area again. You'll probably get a wee little bit of buying there. Not something I'm super interested in, but for a target, not a bad idea. We can mark it in yellow, just since I mentioned it. I'm going to keep on my chart so we can talk about it tomorrow if it does get visited, but not something I'm going to actively trade off of for myself. Any levels that you're interested in on the gold that I didn't mention there?
I think, as far as in that zone, I think, I guess next up area, I have 29.31. Yeah. And then below, I got 28.46 area as well. Is something I have. So, past 2,900. So that's why I'm hoping we can hold this area, because I would look for it to make its way back up to that 29.31 area.
So he's catching that level from right here. You can see that's where we broke down from. So that's a revisit of an old breakdown area. So that's where he's getting that from. And then you got an old high right there. So those are two areas of interest, at least on the upside, as far as target zones, and maybe a short too, if you want it. For me, I'll leave it a little bit higher. We had this other peak fairly close at 29.42, but I can certainly see your rationale of why you had those levels marked. So good areas there for sure. Do we want to look at anything else? I think we had one question. Do we want to look at Bitcoin real fast, since there's been a lot of Bitcoin news the last 24 hours or so?
Let's look at Bitcoin.
With old President Trump tweeting about some crypto reserves, kind of got it popping a little bit, and now we sold it all off. So what'd they do? They sold the news. So we had this little resistance area. This is where the Trump tweet came out last night. Got folks excited about crypto, got all the retail in there buying. So they bought it all the way up back to 95,000. And then from there we kind of hit the wall again. If we zoom out a little bit, I would guess we probably retested some sort of area, and we certainly did, because that's how this stuff always works. So we were retesting this little breakdown right here. And so that's where we sort of started to fail off again. Now you see it came down, retested once, boom, broke. Came up again, retested again, boom. Now we're breaking again one more time. This looks a little bit bearish, considering that should be bullish news and bullish headwinds behind it. But the last week or so, I think, I don't follow Bitcoin super close, but you can see there, we've sort of been drifting down since January 20th. It's sort of been a steady beat down. I don't know if Bitcoin's getting hit because it wasn't specifically mentioned in that Trump tweet. He mentioned like XRP, I think it was, Sol, and one other one. Again, I'm not like super familiar in the crypto sector, but I know there was one other that was mentioned in there as well. So maybe that's why Bitcoin's getting sold off. I'm not 100% sure, but the chart tells us right now, that this is still in a bearish pattern. So don't get overly excited about Bitcoin yet, even though the news is going to tell you to. And, there is some logic behind a bull move on it. But, a Trump tweet doesn't mean that necessarily they're going to buy reserves. It just means that they're thinking about it. There still needs to be approvals in other areas. He can't make that call all by himself. So something to definitely keep in mind. Even though you see it tweeted, it may not actually happen. So, and we kind of get that feel a lot. I mean, you get the tariff stuff that's supposed to go in tomorrow. That could be why our S&P is selling off a little bit again. There's a lot of uncertainty that's floating around right now. So, I think what was our question was about Berkshire, right?
Yep. Of course, I don't know. I think the news is making the headlines now, even though it had already happened. We did this like 2 weeks ago, right? But I feel like the headlines is kind of happening now. So, people are like, are we in a crash? Is the stock market about to fail? So I figured that would be a good opportunity for us to, just kind of talk about it.
Sure. So Berkshire obviously is a huge name. Warren Buffett's one of the biggest names in investing to ever live. So it's certainly concerning when you see that a big investor who has a track record of success is, taking his money to the sidelines. That's probably not a great sign for the economy as a whole. But you got to cash out at some point. Every fund does. They could be thinking there's some kind of short-term high here, which it appears sort of has been. That this, we don't know where the low is going to be, but so maybe they were just cashing out on this latest peak. It might not be, a direct sign that the market's going to sell off, by like 20, 30% or anything like that. But it certainly doesn't look great on the surface. I would rather see Mr. Buffett in the market if I'm in the market rather than fighting Mr. Buffett. That's sort of my thought on it. Again, nobody is ever perfect, not even Mr. Buffett. He's had plenty of losers in his day, just like every other trader in the world. So nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. He could just be getting a little security here, while we're watching the turmoil of, the first 100 days of the presidency rolling through right now. Maybe he's just kind of stepping to the side and letting things play out a little bit before he gets back in, kind of reloading the gun a little bit, for lack of a better terms, ready to get some bargains when they come in. But I don't necessarily think it's an automatic sign that the market's going to sell off, by something substantial. It could mean it, but personally, I take all news with a grain of salt, and I let the charts sort of tell me and the levels tell me what I want to do next in the market. So that's how I'm going to continue to play it. Noted, it's mentally noted, but it's not something I'm going to obsess over. What's your thoughts on it?
Are people going to get nervous, right? Especially long-term buyers. Yeah, definitely, for sure. When you see a big player like that selling off, the first thing that's in your mind probably is something's going on that we don't have the information for. So maybe I should sell as well too. So you may start to see people, selling off. But that's the beautiful thing I like to say about day trading, because we're not really worried about it.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. That's the overnight risk. That's how you think.
It's like, okay, well, maybe it'll give us a nice rundown,
Right.
Yeah.
But for your longer term stuff, like I said, it's not a great sign. That's for sure. It's not
right.
And we got the triple top. There's a lot of bearish signs that are happening right now. You can't ignore them forever. And the market's not going to ignore them forever. If we kind of keep drifting down, more and more people are going to realize that they maybe got a little overextended. It's been a huge run up here. Huge. So let's look at them.
Yeah. At some point it's got to adjust and kind of correct itself a little bit, because we've had a nice bull run.
This is our weekly chart. So, even from this 48, that's never been retested from the top at all. So it's been basically a parabolic run.
Right.
Since January 24. So, we're due for a little back testing, but who knows? Honestly, it's the market. It's semi-unpredictable. So, we just got to go level to level, see what's happening in each one of these things, see where we're catching bids, see what's falling through, what's not. So, again, I don't think it's anything to panic about, but you should definitely mentally note it.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions that we had for the day?
Of course, we have plenty of questions, but I think we'll have to spread the love around.
Okay.
Shout out to Nick. Nick is the one that had that question. I guess maybe we could be nice and shout these people out when we actually do.
when we finally
answer their questions. Thanks for inquiring, Nick.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Well, we can call this an episode. I think tomorrow we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive on support and resistance, what it is, how you find it. It's kind of what we're doing every day when we do these recaps, but we'll kind of explain how that is all created and why it's a thing and that type of deal. So I think that'll be tomorrow's educational portion. Then, of course, we'll go through our levels once more.
Sounds great. Everybody make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Absolutely.
Come play with us a little bit. Learn these charts. Have fun with
That's
us. We enjoy this.
All right. Good deal, buddy. Well, have a good one.